X-Men 2, X-Men United was released in 2003, once again directed by Bryan Singer, and the story by David Hayter, Bryan Singer, and Zach Penn. Everyone from the first film reprises their roles here, including Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry, Famke Janssen, James Marsden, Rebecca Romaine Stamos. Brian Cox appears in this one as William Stryker. He does a fantastic job. Alan Cumming also comes in as Nightcrawler as well, and of course Anna Paquin is back as Rogue in a more minimal role in this movie. She kind of really doesn't do a lot. To be fair, she does a couple of things, but she kind of gets relegated to just being one of the kids, which sucks a bit of donkey dick. And once again, just like my complaint with the first film, Cyclops just gets treated like a bitch here and just gets... Well, he's not in most of the movie whatsoever. He's in a bit at the beginning and then a bit at the end, and then that's your lot. However, this is still a very, very good film, much like the first film. It does a lot practical and in camera, which is pretty cool. I do like the way that they brought up the conflict between Pyro and Iceman. Of course, Pyro was in X-Men. It was a different actor, but he was just in a couple of scenes, like in a classroom. He sets a fire on his hand in front of Rogue, and then Iceman just freezes it and just kind of saves the day with that one there, from Pyro just burning everything down. So we do get some good interactions there, and of course, as we all know, Pyro does go on to join the Brotherhood of Mutants with Magneto, and etc, etc. Now, Alan Cumming's Nightcrawler, interestingly, is in the opening scene of this film in the White House, where he's mind-controlled into trying to assassinate the president, and it's a really kick-ass scene. It's done incredibly well and looks really, really cool. Holds up incredibly well in 4K here in 2024. Unfortunately, though, Nightcrawler was not in X-Men: The Last Stand, because I've researched multiple different reports online. Some say Alan Cumming didn't like the makeup process, and because his role was so minimal in X-Men 3, he just decided to bow out, which was unfortunate. But I mean, he does a fantastic job as Nightcrawler in this film, and at least we got Nightcrawler in the James McAvoy timeline stuff, but obviously I'll get to that at a later date. Of course, with Jean Grey here, she's showing signs of the Phoenix Force. Of course, it's the Phoenix Force done wrong, because the Phoenix Force is a sentient thing from outer space, but in this it's just within Jean. So we get a little bit of that. We also get some nice little nods to, like, Colossus is in this film in a very minor role, which is pretty cool as well. You do also see Jubilee. You do see Jubilee in the first film as well. She has like hoop earrings and whatnot, but she that's it really. She's just kind of there in a couple of scenes, which isn't really ideal, because Jubilee is a pretty cool character. But we do get Yuriko Oyama, who is Lady Deathstrike in this film, and she is pretty cool as well, and she has an awesome fight scene with Wolverine towards the end of the film, and the action is really, really cool. Mystique does a fantastic job with the action scenes that she's in as well. It's not as well paced as the first film, I do have to say that. It does kind of drop and drag in the middle of it, but it was overall a very good film, and still one I highly recommend. Like I said, apart from the pacing, it does everything the first film did, but obviously bigger and better. And I forgot to mention in my first review that one of my biggest dislikes with this original X-Men trilogy is the fact that they're all in black leather. Now, I know that was an early 2000s thing because of the bloody Matrix in 99, right? I know that, and I've always hated it. And that's why I'm so glad that with Deadpool and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman is in the actual yellow and blue Wolverine costume. Should have been in it from the very, very beginning. And I also have a minor gripe with the McAvoy stuff, because they tease some awesome costumes at the end of Apocalypse and then abandon them for Dark Phoenix. But like I said, we'll get to that one at a later date. But yes, X-Men 2 is still a kick-ass movie, still really good. If you can just kind of muscle through the drop in pacing towards the middle of the film, it's a very, very, very good finale, and obviously sets up X-Men: The Last Stand, which is obviously what I will be reviewing next. But as always, please let me know in the comments down below what you think, and thank you very much for watching.